to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Hey everybody, first things first, what's the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? I know you're thinking, where are you going with this? I was talking to Patreon people about last week's episode, and I was talking about the Doomsday machine not being very maneuverable in space. And I was like, hey, it's just like a crocodile or alligator. You know, they're fast going forward, but when they have to rotate, you might have problems. I don't know if that's true. I read it somewhere once, like 10 years ago. But then I was like, what's the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? And I got so far into the rabbit hole, I was like, you know what? I'll just ask YouTube. They know everything. Anyway, last week's episode, we had the Doomsday machine, and I say we were attacking it all wrong. One, we should be firing inside the thing when we can see it. The fires of, Mount Doom. But at all other times, we should be behind it. We should, because it can't get us. It has this one beam that comes out the front, and if we're behind it, it can't get us. Get it to eat its own tail if it has to, or land on it. I didn't think about that until right now. Just dock on the back of it, ride it all the way to Rigel. It can feast on the millions of people or billions in the Rigel system. And, we're just along for the ride, We can contact Starfleet while we're repairing our ship. And explore the surface of it. See if we can hack into it with the nanobots. Anyway, that's not what that episode was about. That episode was about a broken man a captain who had lost his crew, and the lengths he would go to try and make it up to them. And in the end, he went out. He was the key to solving the episode. Would we have solved it otherwise? Maybe if we'd stopped him. He got, well, maybe if I'd flown the shuttlecraft in and exploded it, we might have done some damage. And then they might have thought, oh, wait a second, we got this ship here that's doing nothing. How about we fly that one in? To get Jaws, to get the whale. Is Moby Dick the name of the whale in that story? We've got Captain Ahab. We've got Ishmael. Is Moby Dick the name of the whale? Who named the whale? I don't know. I think that novel is the most referenced novel that nobody has ever read. Maybe? Maybe not. Maybe Frankenstein? Maybe literally any classic. Maybe literally any classic. I think Star Trek might be an example of that. I think people reference Star Trek all the time. Reference Kirk and Spock and mostly those two, without having watched the show. Because it's just like the characters are out there. It's part of the zeitgeist. That's another thing you gotta explain to me. The difference between a crocodile and an alligator. What exactly the zeitgeist is. And are we part of it? Anyway, this episode's called Catspaw, and at one of the end of the previous episodes, the English language is a hard thing. We saw a giant cat. I think it was a giant cat. It may have been a giant cat, or we were really small. And the thing about cats is, whether they're large or small, they get you. They're predators. They're cold-hearted. Do you have a pet cat? It'll eat you when you're gone. Your dog won't. Oh, somebody asked in a comment, I probably replied to it by now, occasionally, we we pause for dogs barking. I don't own the dogs. The dogs are the neighbours next door, and well, it's just one dog, and I'm friends with the dog. I talk to it out my window. I whistle to it. I sing to it. Me mo mame, me me mamo. I don't do that. That's a Simpsons reference for anybody who doesn't get it. So I'm on good terms with the dog, except for when it's barking when I'm recording, in which case I always have to pause. So that's the story of the dog. Also, on an administrative note, I did get a comment a month ago, that hey, maybe don't have the pink wig. Maybe don't have pink hair. Maybe more people would watch. You're right. More people would watch if I had a more standard appearance. I know that. I've been doing this for 3 years. If there's anything I've learned in that time, it's that people don't like any differences whatsoever. And you're right. But the reason we don't change, especially in the middle of a series, for consistency's sake. And there's a certain vibe and a certain energy and a certain there's a certain something, je ne sais quoi, that would be missing if I changed my appearance. And it just wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't feel the same. I'm telling you to trust me on this. It would take a bit of getting used to for me. It would take a bit of getting used to for you. And to do it, to course change in the middle of a series like this, just not a good idea. But yeah, affects the viewers. People turn off straight away. Absolutely they do. But look, this is a good thing. It's a good thing for you, the people who stick around, because there's less clamour, there's less noise. We can see it as this is like the biggest secret in YouTube, you know, cool Star Trek reactions that nobody knows about. So we can view it that way. But in future, sure, my appearance is ever changing, and it may go more standard, more normal, you know, whatever that is. We all know what that is in future, but not during this series. Anyway, let us get into Catspaw. Oh, the next title is called I Mud. We all know who's going to be in that one. The return of our old favourite from Mud's. Last time we saw him, he was being shipped off to trial for illegally, I can't quite remember what it was, having a ship without informing Starfleet what he was doing, where he was going. And he was wanted. He had a whole record as well. So we'll see him next time. Oh, it's odd.
Still no response.
Hey, you're back.
I don't like this. Nothing since the first check-in.
Hey, quick question. How many episodes have we started where we're trying to contact someone and we can't contact them? Quite a bit. Quite a few, right?
Scott and Sulu should have contacted us again a half an hour ago.
Oh, what? Scouting mission?
Contact established, Captain.
Oh,
Jackson to Enterprise.
Jackson.
One to beam up, Enterprise.
Where's the rest of them?
Where are Scott and Sulu?
I'm ready to beam up, sir.
Jackson!
I don't... Absolutely not.
Prepare to beam up one member of the landing party. And have Dr. McCoy report to me in the transporter room on the double.
Bring security as well. He's acting weird. Wasn't he acting weird on the comms? Hey, Kyle.
Ready, son.
What's on, Jim?
Trouble.
Hey, dude, are you one with the body? What's going on with you?
Jackson, where are the others?
He's dead.
The man is dead.
Ugh.
Captain Kirk,
Oh, a message.
there is a curse on your ship.
No.
Leave this place, or you will all die.
Well, send back our crew members and we'll get out of here. Sulu and Scott, please. The planet is empty. It's haunted. The planet is haunted.
These are the voyages of the Starship
That guy died?
Enterprise.
No. He was already dead when he was sending the transmission. Someone was puppet mastering his body. That's why he was so weird. Hey, at least it's not a monkey's paw, right? Because all your wishes would go weird. At least it's only cats we have to worry about.
Crewman Jackson is dead,
Damn it.
and there are no apparent physical causes. Leaving Assistant Chief Engineer DeSalle in
Ooh.
command of the Enterprise,
DeSalle!
I'm beaming down to the planet's surface to find my 2 missing crewmen.
It looked really cold.
Odd, our probe data didn't indicate fog.
It's haunted.
Under these conditions, fog is highly unlikely, Captain.
Can't we detect where Sulu and Scott are on the surface? Where their life signs are? Oh, this is the fog that we're talking about. Thought they were hallucinating. Reminds me of the Galileo 7 planet a little bit.
Picking up life form readings. Multiple readings, Captain.
Multiple.
Scott and Sulu.
What are the ship's sensors reading now, Lieutenant?
Report, mister.
Hey, DeSalle.
I'm only picking up physical impulses from the 3 of them. There is nothing else down there that's alive.
There's nothing down there, Kirk.
We are only registering on you.
Oh, communications are out.
Lieutenant, can you hear me?
Send another team down with a giant rope. Can tether everybody.
Can't register anything but us. While we're picking up readings from multiple life forms. Are they still there, Spock?
No change, Captain.
This is really atmospheric, by the way. Remember when I said it reminded me of the the Galileo 7 planet? Galileo 7 planet kind of looks kind of fakeish. This looks a lot better. You know, like that idea, but enhanced a bit. Maybe it's because we can't see the skyline. The skyline usually makes things look a bit fake, you know. Although, I've been thinking about this. Skyline in Star Trek, especially the single color skyline, could act almost like a green screen for people doing remasters. It would be an interesting challenge to make the planets with that sort of skyline come alive a bit more. You know, I don't mean make them look super realistic because then you'll highlight how much the foreground stage doesn't look particularly well, but match it all up. Yeah, I haven't talked about that in a while, since early season 1, but there's still room for enhancements to the show that add to the atmosphere and don't take away from it. Anyway, yeah, very atmospheric, at least what we've seen so far of this planet. Anyway, they detect something, but the ship doesn't detect anything. So, I'm still on the planet is haunted, hallucinations angle. I hear ghostly singing, wailing, if you will.
Now, what do you think that...
Quiet.
It's a banshee. Oh, jeez. 3 witches. It's all an illusion. It's all a play. Hey, give us our crewmen and we'll be on our way. Yeah, remember the curse, Kirk.
Comment.
Very bad poetry, Captain.
A more useful comment, Mr. Spock.
What we've just seen is not real.
Yeah. Someone doesn't want us here.
That's where we go.
That's all we know. That's no illusion.
That was a pretty real illusion, Mr. Spock.
Yeah. What do you see?
Jim,
Oh, what the hell? Haunted castle. So far, this episode's delivering. It's great. Something fun around every corner.
This is the source of the life form readings, Captain.
Enterprise, come in.
Let's go in. Hopefully Trelane isn't here.
Could be exerting a force field of some kind that cuts into our sensor scan.
Yeah,
Then it would affect Spock's tricorder too, wouldn't it?
Would it?
we gotta check it out.
I wonder.
Spock's tricorder is great. Even better than the ship sensors. That's what we've learned. I think we need more fog. Oh, the freaking cat. Oh, it wasn't giant after all. Just a normal cat. Maybe it's a planet of cats. Witches' cats.
I'd say someone was playing an elaborate trick or treat on us.
It's like Halloween, yeah.
Or treat, Captain.
Halloween.
Yes, Mr. Spock. You'd be a natural. I'll explain it to you one day. Bones. Spock.
They're gone, Mr. DeSalle.
I guess they're dead. Let's get out of here.
Check for malfunctions. Nobody just disappears. Mr. Chekhov, recalibrate your sensors. If you need help,
I can do it, sir. I'm not that green.
Yeah, he's been here at least 5 weeks. And I want to
Straight ahead, Mr. Spock.
I want to see a skeleton. What else do I want to see? A cauldron? Someone in a white sheet?
Halloween is right.
Maybe there's a coffin with a vampire. Oh! What was that? A trap? A trap hole? You let them into that trap, didn't you? You sneaky cat. Oh! Well, we're in the dungeon now.
Spock.
Hey, a skeleton!
damaged,
Captain. Bones.
Bones.
You were saying something about trick or treat.
Skeletons and Iron Maidens, they're all Earth manifestations.
Oh, good point.
Why?
I do not know, Captain.
To scare us.
Could this be an Earth parallel development of some sort?
No way.
Ghost stories. Ogres, demons.
Fog. Someone's coming. Oh, hey! Are you one with the body again, Sulu?
Scotty, put down the phaser.
Fight it, Scotty.
Scotty.
They appear to be drugged, Jim.
Or in a trance.
Hardly blink at all.
Sulu, do you know who I am?
Come on. Okay.
What's happened to you?
Yeah, let us out. Maybe they'll take us to somebody with answers. We just want these two, and then we'll leave. You can have your haunted planet. I think this is the first time I've seen Scotty taken over by something. That isn't hormonal jealousy. Oh! How did we get here? Who are you? Do you own this planet? We'll make a deal with you. We'll leave, and you can stay.
You've proven your skill at creating illusion. Now I want to know why.
Where did your race get this ridiculous predilection for resistance?
Oh, great voice.
You question everything. Is it not enough to accept what is?
Nope.
Not when one of my men is dead because of it.
Yeah, Jackson.
These two are merely controlled, Captain Kirk.
Puppet Master.
We know who you are. Don't we, my precious, huh?
Oh, he likes his cat. He's like a Bond villain.
My name is Korab.
Why all the mumbo jumbo?
Yeah, Mopo Jumbo.
There never have been any life forms on Pardus 7.
It is of no importance that we are not native to this planet.
Okay, they just came here. From somewhere else. Him and his cat.
Oh, I'm told that I've been an inattentive host, gentlemen.
But did the cat talk to you?
For something to refresh yourselves?
Hey, look, this episode's called Catspaw, right? You think the cat's in charge? And he's just a spokesperson for the cat people? Because it seems like he's like a Bond villain with the cat. I've never seen those Bond movies, by the way. The older ones. It's a bit like Star Trek. You know of them, but you don't know them. But the cat led them into the trap. The cat apparently just spoke to him and said he was being a bad host. So the cat's calling the shots in some way, or at least communicating through him. So yeah, I would not be surprised, given the title and given what we've seen, if the cat is actually the one in charge. But how does that work? I mean, I know how it would work, but I don't know how it would resolve, unless it starts speaking to us directly. You know, in a weird Sabrina the Teenage Witch sort of way. You ever watch that? No, me either. Anyway, this guy, I don't quite know what his name is. You said it, but I can't quite... The letters haven't formed in front of me.
That cat. That cat?
There are ancient Earth legends about wizards and their familiars.
Okay.
Superstition.
I do not create the legend, Captain.
You are the different one, Mr. Spock.
What do you mean by that?
There are no colors to your patterns of logic. There's only black and white.
He's highly ordered.
Gentlemen, I can be most hospitable.
Oh, a banquet. Great. Let's get everybody down here.
We're not hungry.
Oh, yeah.
But I insist. Oh, Doctor, do try the wine. You'll find it excellent.
What's with his wand? Oh, we have no use for gems. Do you have any dilithium?
They mean nothing to us.
Valueless. Our analysis of you may have been in some small way in error. Your bravery was tested, and you did not frighten.
By the witches?
In many ways, you are quite admirable.
What do you think?
Oh, quite right. Go at once, yes.
What? Where are you going? What's the deal with you and your cat? That's the cat. Clearly the cat, right? Catwoman.
Gentlemen, my colleague, Sylvia.
You wanted to know what we did to your men. Actually, it's a simple matter for us to probe the minds of creatures like yourself.
Hypnosis.
That I have full control over your friends.
Yeah.
Don't move.
Now I've got the phaser.
Now I want the rest of our weapons and our equipment.
It seems so foolish of you to insist on demonstrations.
Don't look at it, Kirk. Don't. Oh, it's a ship.
This is called sympathetic magic.
Oh no, voodoo doll.
Jackson, you wondered what killed him. I made an image of him.
It is a
Image
voodoo doll.
was- And when I killed the image, he died.
Okay, lady.
You can't think a man to death.
Your communicator.
Oh, he'll be able to see if her doing stuff affects the ship.
Sylvia, don't.
You don't need to do it, Sylvia. Oh, over the flame.
Kirk to Enterprise, come in. Come in.
Anything weird going on up there?
Temperature, sir. Keeps rising. Reading, mister.
We're burning up, sir.
Someone better open a window. Okay, you made your point.
Sal, I'll handle it down here. Kirk out.
You can relax now, Captain. Your ship is safe.
You've seen something of our science. Now tell us about yours.
But you seem to do with your mind what we do with tools. You alter matter, move it about by telekinesis.
Yes, we can change
Telekinesis.
the molecular
Carl,
structure.
you talk too much.
You kept Scott and Sulu as Catspaws to lure us down here.
Oh, whoa. Catspaw is an actual... It's an actual word? Is this another run amok situation where I just forgotten? Dangerous Googling the title of the episode in the middle of an episode, isn't it? Catspaw, an idiom meaning the dupe of another. What does that mean? What does dupe mean? Don't give me words. Duplicate? Or to dupe somebody, as in to fool them? Ah, here's another definition. A person used to serve the purposes of another. A catspaw. Right. Like a tool. Okay, great.
How long do you think it'll be before a search party arrives?
Some time, Captain.
Oh no. We're trapped in a block of glass.
An impenetrable force field around your ship, Captain. It will not hinder orbit, but your people are prisoners within it.
Okay.
Some kind of a force field, sir.
Chekhov's the new Spock in this episode.
Take them to their cell.
Oh, not back there.
The doctor will stay. Your turn will be next, Captain. It makes little difference.
They're gonna drain the Doc of everything he knows. Like the Klingon mind probe.
If it's real, it can be affected.
Good thinking. Try shooting a phaser at it.
Maybe we can't break it. But I'll bet you credits to Navy beans we can put a dent in it.
What did you just say?
I wonder what they're doing to Doc.
I'm sure we'll find out shortly. All these things that we've seen, they must seem quite familiar.
Yeah?
Not rational.
Precisely. The universal myths, symbols,
Ghosts, witches.
The skeleton is listening, Spock.
they all belong to the twilight world of consciousness.
Twilight Zone.
They try to tap our conscious mind.
They reach basically only the subconscious.
Mm.
We're gonna have to stop them. Cold.
We gotta get out of these first, though.
I, too, am at a loss at this time to suggest the course of action.
I guess we'll just hang around for a bit. Oh, he's been wiped. It's like Return of the Archons. I'm glad Sulu's in this one. Well, nobody can break Kirk. Remember, Spock, he's just faking it. If he comes back all blank.
I'm not a puppet, Korob, like you.
You're a traitor.
You are a fool.
What are we doing here?
We have nothing like this, and I like it. To touch, to feel, to understand the idea of luxury.
She's going native.
We have a duty to the old ones. Cruel. We torture our specimens.
And that...
Okay, look, it seems like they're maybe not cats. I'm going to drop the cat thing. But she's definitely that cat that walked out. You know, the cat went out, she came in. Just in a different form. But it seems the way she's speaking, she doesn't know about sensation and like some sort of ethereal beings that are kind of explorers, if you will, learning about other cultures, and she likes it. She likes it, and he's not having any of it. He's still on mission. But there's only two of them, so since they disagree, they might be easier to bargain with, to barter with, to outsmart, to outthink. But they do seem super powerful. And I will be amazed and stunned if I do not know who this woman is when I look her up later. I even think I might have seen the guy in something.
You're a weak fool, Korob. I find I like these new sensations.
Let's see what they try to do with Kirk.
It's time for our talk, Korob. Leave us alone.
This is not ended, Sylvia.
They're going through something, Kirk.
What now?
It's awkward.
A woman should have compassion. But I forget you're not a woman.
I am a woman now.
Use your charm, Kirk.
I come from a world
It's a woman.
where sensation excites me. I want more.
No.
But where our abilities put together,
A merging of sorts. Uh-oh. He's doing it. The music knows. He's working her.
What about Korab?
he is a fool. I'll do without him.
Oh, do you hear that, Coral?
Why do I find you different?
She was unprepared for Kirk.
Anything you can imagine, I can give you.
You're very persuasive. What happens if I go along?
Then everything would be ours together. You excite me. Why?
For the same reasons you excite me.
Oh, he's lying to her.
You're a very beautiful woman.
He's lying to her.
But I can be many women.
Oh, that was sudden. Like Vina in the pilot.
You like what you see.
Oh, jeez.
Or do you prefer me as I was?
No, keep going. Keep going. I want to see all the different looks.
You have nothing like that where you come from.
Nothing. Like feathers in the wind without the transmuter.
Oh, the transmuter.
Transmuter.
He's getting information from her.
A billion worlds of sensation to pick and choose.
Yeah. We can explore them together, you and I. Just show me this transmuter. Tricked! You were tricked!
Using me.
Oh, yeah.
You tried to deceive me.
You've been using me and my crew.
You will be swept away. You, your men, your wolves!
It doesn't have to be like that. She's a doomsday machine now. We gotta fly a ship into her. Open wide.
Channel the entire output of reactors 1, 2, and 3 into the relay stations. Whatever it is, it's starting to weaken.
What a pointless B-plot. At least we're not spending too much time there. Oh, is he...
the model of your ship from the crystal. Although they would have freed themselves soon.
Thanks, dude. Not my dog. I don't have a cat either. You can't trust those cats. No. See, I say cat and the dog just goes crazy. Anyway, we knew this guy would, he was sort of sympathetic to us in a way. And now he doesn't like the way Sylvia is behaving. So he's like, he's going to help us somehow. But what's his goal in all this? Just to get her back? I don't know. She wants to destroy all life in our galaxy. Like a wind. A vengeant wind. I can make up words too.
Here.
Hey, thanks.
You must go before she finds the weapon is missing. She's irrational. The strain of adopting to your form, she means to destroy us all. There may still be a chance. Quickly.
What do we do though? What is our plan? How do we get the minds of my crew back? Do we have to kill her? Do we have to get the transmuter? Oh, she's in cat form. Is it a big, huge one this time?
It's out of energy.
Drained.
She must have drained it. No way out.
It's my problem. She's one of my kind.
Are they going to kill each other? Oh, she's a giant cat now. They've done it well, though. The way they filmed it. Up through the hole.
You think you can make it?
Ready when you are, Captain.
Oh, I thought Spock was going to super leap up there. Oh. Oh, she's going to get him.
Go.
Get out of there, Kirk. Can you use the wand?
Captain, a bit more alacrity, if you please.
Yeah, be more alacrity-ful.
Captain.
Oh, god damn it, McCoy. It's a good thing you're a doctor and not a combat specialist. We got him. Okay, Sulu, let's do it. Let's do it. You're not Sulu. Where did Sulu go? He was replaced by some guy.
Jim!
We've seen better choreography, but it was funny.
Well, at least we found them.
Let's get him back to the ship.
Fortuitous, Captain.
Yeah, back, kitty. Yeah, back. Bad kitty. Bad kitty.
Sylvia!
You're very clever, Captain. More so than I'd imagined.
Don't let her touch the wand, Captain.
Yeah, don't let her near it.
Jim!
Whoa.
This is the source of your power, isn't it? The transmuter.
No, it's merely an amplifier, a director. The mind is the source, but you don't know how to use it.
I catch on quickly.
Don't you know what you're giving up? Look at me! I'm a woman. I am all women.
I don't know what you are, but you're not a woman. You ask for love and return pain.
She's got a phaser.
Give me the transmuter.
She's bluffing. What happened? Did he make this happen?
Everything's vanished.
Not everything.
What the? They're what they really look like?
Korov and Sylvia, as they really are.
If we could preserve and study this.
They're dead. They can't survive.
Too late.
No illusion. Jackson is dead. 5 to beam up.
He seems cut up about Jackson. I like that. What? No, we're just... That's it? Have you ever seen an episode end so quickly? She's in the room with him. We'll talk when the music is over. That's the quickest ending I've ever seen in a TV show. Before we talk about that ending, she was in one episode of The Twilight Zone, Probe 7 Over and Out. I was going to directly reference who she was, but who she is actually an interesting part of that episode, so I'm not going to say it. Although, even saying that. Anyway, she's in that episode, and he was in 2 episodes of The Twilight Zone. One, The Trade-Ins, I don't quite remember who he was in that, but he was also in one of the most famous episodes of The Twilight Zone, To Serve Man. And I believe he was one of the country's representatives, maybe Russia, maybe some other country, but he was definitely in that episode, so that's where I recognize him from. I did think I recognized her from something more specific, so something greater than that one appearance, but couldn't quite see it straight away. That ending, wow. Kirk and her she's teleported them, illusioned her way back into the banquet hall, right? Within 60 seconds of that scene, the episode, the title, the credits are running. Kirk smashes the transmuter, and they beam out of there. We see what they actually look like, and we get out of there. And nothing. Remember, Dusal and Chekhov and Uhura are working on stuff up there, right? Did that ever go anywhere? We just needed something. Remember, I was saying halfway through the episode that this B plot was just terrible, and thankfully we're not spending much time with it. It was just terrible, and thankfully we didn't spend much time with it. There was no reason for it to be in the episode other than to pad it. But let's table the ending for a little while, and let's start at the beginning. I really liked how this episode started. I really liked a lot of the... I liked a lot of the episode, actually. The opening is a pretty standard opening. Hey, we can't contact somebody. Uhura, why do we always open episodes with you not being able to contact somebody? But this time, a little like in The Return of the Archons, there's been an away mission, there's been a scouting party to a planet, and we've lost contact with them. Jackson, Sulu, and Scott. Interestingly, this system has been probed before, no life whatsoever. We flew here, no life signs. We sent down a landing party. What are we doing here? Aren't there more interesting places? See, this is what being on a starship would actually be like if it was real. Just going to stupid planets with nothing on them, cataloging them, making sure there's nothing there, taking some pictures, and getting off. Anyway, we beamed down to see what was up. There's some spooky atmospheric fog. Oh, we get a warning. Don't come down, it's haunted. Get out of here. Then we beam down to the planet. 3 witches appear in the sky with barely distinguishable dialogue. They're like, stay off the grass, go no further, beware, dog or cat, monsters. And then there's like giant gust of wind. No, we really mean it, stay away. And then we see the spooky castle, which reminds me a little of, the Squire of Gothos. And then, because we had the flame-lit torches and everything as well, so we go to that place, and we see all sorts of things. We get trapped in a dungeon with a skeleton, and it's all very interesting, because it's a slow little build-up. Little spooky things are happening. We're in spooky sets. They don't dwindle too long in one location. They're always moving it forward bit by bit. There's obviously not a lot of content in the episode itself, so they do have to pad it a bit, but I think they do it okay at the start. It doesn't feel... They rush the end, so I don't know. Anyway, all that stuff was great. And then we see our crewmen all blanked. And then finally we see Korob. You know, we get teleported to the throne banquet room. And he's like, he just wants us to leave. That was basically his whole deal. Get out of here. And Kirk's like, we'll leave when we want to leave. We want to know everything that's going on here. What's all this hullabaloo, tomfoolery, hocus pocus? What's all that about? There's some funny jokes between McCoy and Spock about Halloween and trick-or-treating. And then there's this cat. There's always this cat. Do you think she enjoyed being a cat? Do you think that was what it was? She enjoyed the sensation of being the cat? The second that cat disappeared and reappeared, it was like, that's her. She's the cat. But, yeah, early on I thought it was Planet of the Cats. I thought the cats were running everything. And Korob was just a puppet of the cats. And they were, through the scepter, they were mind sending, telepathic signals to him to get him to do their bidding. And, the cats just want to be left alone. And they're tiny, so they manifest these grand illusions to scare people away. They scan the minds of whoever comes and their subconscious and get the root of their fears just to get rid of them, so that they can have all the shiny stuff to themselves. That's not the way the episode went. But it did turn out that they were trying to scan our conscious minds, but scanned our subconscious instead. So it brought about these primal wants and desires and fears. Like all the Halloween stuff and rubies and banquets. None of which impressed our crew one bit. They're like, we've seen Trelane showed us all this stuff. We're not impressed anymore. And then it's interesting. She really enjoyed exploring being human, and the sensations of it. She wanted more. She wanted to discover more. She wanted to go to all the planets. And her companion was like, this isn't what we're about. What they're actually about is, at least initially, without me reading more about the episode, kind of vague. I didn't really pick up on their overall what they're doing here. Apart from exploring, I didn't really get it. And the nature of what she wants and what he wants, and how they've come into conflict, kind of a bit murky too. Her falling for Kirk, entirely predictable. Him using his charm to learn about the transmuter, pretty funny. And then Korob turning on her, yeah, you could see that coming, because he was so frustrated with the situation. But he died. He helped us escape, but then he died anyway. I thought they were ethereal beings that had no sensation of physicality. But it turns out they were like little tiny little puppet thingies. In the end. The ending is so jarring. It's so quick and so jarring. It's like a dream. It's like an illusion. It's like a fever dream. It's like it's like someone has jolted you awake and your brain just finishes the dream that I was having. It's like, oh, I gotta get up. Okay, the scepter is destroyed and they're tiny people, and then we just get out of there at the end. It was literally lightning quick. I know I pick on Sulu a lot, but it's funny to see him completely blank for the entire episode. But his best part of the episode was when he was trying to do something. He was doing some sort of martial arts, or at least pretending to. But we didn't get to see much of it, unfortunately. Some other guy came in and started fighting Kirk instead. I don't know where he came from. Maybe a native of the planet. And then Sulu reappeared then, after the fight was over. Did you see that? Must have been the transmuter. It was just an entirely different guy. The Doc had no chance. He has no combat training. Kelowitz is long since gone. Although we got Desal back. You know, he's been in a few episodes. Very recognizable guy. Took charge of the ship. I thought he was having a bit of beef with Chekhov initially. I got a vibe from him about those two not quite getting on, but maybe that was in my imagination. And in the end, they did not much, right? Once the scepter was destroyed, the force field surrounding the ship would have been destroyed and they would have just beamed them up. If they just sat back and done nothing all episode, it would have been just the same as far as I can tell. Like in the Apollo episode, the ship storyline was important because Spock was able to, we were able to poke through the hand force field a little. So we could get our phasers through, we could get communications through. But I don't think anything like that happened in this episode. This episode does feel like an amalgam of a lot of episodes we've seen before too. You know, let's get in the fog from Galileo 7. Let's get in the kind of the old-timey set from the Trelane episode, and also maybe a bit of the Archons episode with the, you know, we'll have some of the plot elements of that. We'll hold them in a cell. We'll bring people out to brain drain them. And someone will help us to escape. You know, there's a lot of elements in here that we've seen before. But I really thought the episode was strongest when it was leaning into the Halloween aspects. And I would have kept leaning into that. Bring them all out. Everything you can think of. Have it be a whole haunted house episode. You know? I would have liked that. I feel unsatisfied by the ending because the two characters they built up, Sylvia and Korob, I think it's a shame to kill them. Send them back to their galaxy. You know, use the scepter to maybe teleport them back to their galaxy, and then smash it. Because killing them, I feel like it's just like the episode never happened. We can't revisit that story again. We can't revisit those people again, or where they came from, or anything. We've just said, we're done with the episode. We're done. You're gone. They couldn't survive in the atmosphere of the planet without their transmuting matter energy device. Oh, here's an interesting little tidbit. It was released on October 27th, 1967. So it was released for Halloween. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat. Even more reason to completely lean into the Halloween nature of it. Everything you can put in there. Bats, vampires, zombies, cauldrons, pumpkins, ghouls, people wearing white sheets, demons, you know, all sorts of things you could put in. Just dotted around. Even if you just have them in the background. You know, like the skeleton was cool, a cool touch. So yeah, completely lean into that, I would say. You know, you don't need the fight at the end with the crew versus crew. You don't need a lot of stuff in the episode. But there were some interesting ideas in this one. a kind of a sad ending to some interesting characters, and a nicely atmospheric episode that we can just chalk off and say it never happened, really, without skipping a beat. No lasting repercussions except for the death of Jackson. Never forget Jackson. We gotta do a list. We gotta do a full list soon of all the people we've lost, because we lost like 4 people in one episode. Remember in The Changeling? Those 4 red shirts just stupidly, what were they thinking, just firing on that robot? What were they thinking? The second 2, especially. Right. Thank you for joining me. Next week's episode is called I, Mud. And the return of Mud in some form or other. In the first episode where we saw Mud, I was like, I think I know something about this guy. I think I have memory of this guy in a certain situation. I think that will be the next episode. My memory of Mud will probably be in the next episode. But we'll see all about that. I'm expecting an annoying episode, but also maybe a funny episode. I guess it depends on how you feel about Mud, is how you feel about whatever the next episode is about. So join me for that one, and we will have some fun. Spock, I suggest you take the next episode off. You can stay in the ship, maybe, you know? Give Desal some lessons in command. Or kick Chekhov off your post. Yeah. Right. Get out of here.